Logan, how much have you seen of the Stellantis announcements from the last week?
What is it, a $70 billion turnaround plan? Bunch of new models. I think it's like 12 new models and like 14 refreshed models over the next 4 years.
It's actually more than that. It's every model. Every single vehicle will be refreshed or a brand new car by 2030.
That is insanely aggressive and expensive.
They will have literally nothing on sale now that they will have on sale after 2030.
As long as they still have the EV charger, I'll be stoked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we'll get
There's
to the
news on
Recon.
that.
There's the news on the Charger. There's news on the Recon.
I heard a little bit about the new Jeeps, the Wrangler Scrambler. What's that about?
So the Gladiator is no longer called a Gladiator. The Gladiator is now a trim of the Wrangler.
Okay.
There's going to be a Wrangler Scrambler, and investors also got eyes on that as well. That is a 2-door.
Finally.
And you know that super aggressive retro front end they had on? Yep, that's coming to all to the Gladiators, and the Scramblers are getting the
the Easter concept.
Exactly, that aggressive front end with a hood that's longer and it sticks out. Yeah, the Scrambler on their little display, which you'll probably have up here, has a flag on it. The flag means it's getting an SRT model, and the Scrambler is a Wrangler. They already have the 392 Wrangler. So they're going to put the 392 or potentially even the Hellcat in the 2-door.
How is the Wrangler Scrambler different than the 2-door Wrangler? Is it just instead of back seats, it has a bed?
So my understanding is that the Wrangler Scrambler is a 4-door Wrangler, but instead of having rear doors, it has a truck bed. The Gladiator has a longer wheelbase than the 4-door Wrangler.
It's a mid-size version of the Gladiator.
Gladiator has the longest wheelbase of all of them. Step down, you get the 4-door Wrangler, and then step down from that, you get the 2-door
Wrangler Unlimited is the 4-door.
Right. So the Wrangler Unlimited, if you took the back half off and made it a bed, that's the Scrambler. So it's smaller in wheelbase.
But it's still 4 doors.
The Scrambler's a 2-door. 2-door with a bed.
There's no rear seats, or there is rear seats?
I don't know.
Okay.
They don't know that much. They do know that there's going to be an SRT model, that it's going to be a 2-door version of the Gladiator.
That's insane.
And the Recon. What is the biggest problem with the Recon, Mason?
It's electric.
Yeah, not anymore. It said that they're toying with using e-rev or gas. So we don't know what they're going to do, but we know it's not going to be exclusively EV. They're going to do EV like the first year. Excuse me, I think they're just too far gone to pull that back. And then the next one next year they're going to come out with gas or e-rev.
If you make a good product, it doesn't matter.
That's true.
The problem is that Stellantis hasn't made good EV products.
Yeah. And what's funny is, like, as an EV, that Wagoneer S was actually, it hit the marks. Like, it was the fastest EV in its segment. It was the cheapest one with that amount of horsepower. It hit a bunch of targets where you would think, like, okay, if you're stacking EV against EV, this one wins. And it just didn't sell.
And nobody trusts Stellantis reliability.
So we have the Scrambler, the Gladiator's changing nameplate. All of the vehicles are getting updates. The Grand Cherokee and Grand Cherokee L are going to get an SRT model, finally.
Yeah.
They're thinking high output Hurricane.
Durango's getting a refresh as well.
Durango's finally getting a refresh, yep. Grand Wagoneer is getting an e-rev. And then for Ram, they're also getting the Ram Charger, which is
full-size SUV.
It's supposed to be, a 2500 chassis, not a 1500 chassis. So it's going to be more like an Excursion than an Expedition.
So even bigger than the Grand Wagoneer.
Yeah.
That's big.
That's speculation, but they have to delineate themselves somewhere. Okay, so there's a bunch of things there that's super exciting, but none of this is exciting. It's my favorite thing that they talked about. Can you guess what my favorite thing that they talked about was?
The Copperhead?
No, the sub $30,000 Chrysler product. Yeah. They're coming out with the Chrysler Aero, which is supposed to be under 30 grand. And then there's the Chrysler Airflow, and then there was the Aero crossover, I think. The Aero's supposed to be under 30 grand. And I think, based on what they're saying for the pricing on all these new cars, that they're giving up on Chrysler as the luxury brand.
Off-road Pacifica is what we're saying.
Apparently they are going to try to push forward with that, like a off-road. Although, I mean, you could still do budget luxury. The newer Buicks are ridiculously cheap.
Because they're Chinese, but yeah.
But still, and they'll sell pretty well. And they look good, and you would be... I think you would look at it, at least a layman would look at it and be like, yeah, I would consider that a luxury vehicle. Now, does it have all the super high-end, state-of-the-art tech features and massaging seats? Probably not.
So, there's plenty of stuff you can cut and still make a luxury experience. I think that Chrysler coming back as the budget option in the lineup is odd, but they need it. And they have a brand.
At this point, it's that or
nothing.
You close up shop. I mean, I guess keep selling the Pacifica.
I hope I'm wrong about my 2030 prediction about Chrysler being insolvent. Chrysler, the singular brand, being insolvent by 2030. I hope I'm wrong. This is one of our first episodes. I had that prediction. But yeah, so they're going to have 4 new models. One of them is going to be the same thing, but they'll have a crossover and a sedan version of the same car. The airflow is going to be like smaller than it's going to be like the Grand Cherokee or the regular Cherokee. Oh, they're bringing the Cherokee back too for Jeep.
The smaller SUV.
Yeah, I forgot to mention. Anyway, the airflow is going to be a midsize SUV